We did it.
We did it. You did it.
I did it. Whew.
You did it. I didn't do it.
New York, eh?
What's it like in the summer? Sweaty?
Oh my God, I'm glad I brought like 3 extra t-shirts. It was
Sticky?
it was sticky. You know,
It's a
like
thick air.
I was hitting like 25,000 steps a day, you know, just like cruising the town. You know, everything's like a 20-minute walk, 30-minute walk. And like it's not wintertime, so everybody's like, let's just hoof it. And
Totally.
It's all like,
And it's got all
okay.
garbage day. No matter what street you walk down, it's garbage day.
Any street. There's the stank. There's that New York stank, you know? But
the mothership,
MSG, it's a place. You know,
so
I mean,
good.
we haven't really talked at all since the beginning of tour, and there's been some serious things going down around that tour, eh?
Was the MSG in particular or summer tour in general?
I think summer tour in general. Don't you think? Like, there was some.
It has been an excellent summer tour.
For sure. Like there was obviously some misses, but for the most part, like this tour was a lot of good zones, a lot of good spots. Like Alpharetta, people are like saying Alpharetta was like the greatest show ever, man. The first night or the second night or the third night. It's all just a matter of opinion, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this summer tour definitely gets 5 stars. Like, it's really like met my expectations. Like, you're right. There's been, you know, sets or even shows that were fine. But like,
Yeah.
boy, it's not like I'm searching. I'm not sitting here going, oh, like that one show they played was good though. It's like, wow, okay. Like they're hitting, there's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I think like minus like that first night minus North Carolina, you know, which had like some unforeseen events on the second night, and like the first night just felt like they were a little bit drained after a really hot 3-night run in Alpharetta, and they were just like kind of phoning it in. Other than that, like every show had incredible consistency. Them being like engaged and like in sync and pulling out jams when you weren't expecting a jam and tying it all together and ending with a blue.
Yeah, like a banger. Trey's been like so happy. He's in a good place.
Yeah,
I just see all the banter, you know, the Trey banter, his dancing around. Like he had fun.
Yeah. No, it was quite evident that he had a good time. He was having a good time.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was able to, you know, make it out for the last 2 shows at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think really any show at Madison Square Garden was a bad show.
No.
Like, of the 7, they just like did stuff. And I streamed every single one, you know, before I made it out there, and it was just epic. Like, I guess, you know, they feel comfortable in that arena.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's
base.
Yeah. And there's a certain, you know, comfort element that, and like expectation, but not maybe an expectation from themselves, you know?
They know they can blow the roof off that place. It's like they're comfortable there.
Yeah. And they know everybody there is like there for the same reason, just to like have the best fucking time.
Yeah.
You know, and sure, there's like people going to their first show, people going to their 300th show at MSG, but like, they just, how many times have they played there now? Like almost 80 or more than that?
I don't know the number, but I mean, right? It's like they're there always.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting to a point where they didn't I think maybe they took like,
I think they
second place from like Elton John or something.
They took something.
Billy.
Uh-huh. They'll catch up.
Yeah, good for them. You know, it's like there's just so many familiar faces at MSG, even like the people who work there. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like all those sweet, fine folks.
I had some serious FOMO. I was obviously on the West Coast, but then I was even further west. I was into the ocean. I was in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because the shows were starting in the middle. Like we'd be whatever we were doing, like surfing or whatever, right? And then I would come back and I'd be like, oh my God, the show's over? Like I would want to check. There would already be like a recap posted on .net. And I was like, okay, it's 5:30. Like the show's over. That is so where I was, you know.
The show's over before dinner.
The show was over every day before I like checked my phone, you know. But I was like, I had so much FOMO looking at the set lists and just like reading and then watching clips and listening and oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in full recovery mode right now. It was hard to hold back. New York, it just never sleeps. There's just like something going on all day, every day, all night. And it's just
New York, the city where Jack never sleeps.
Basically. It was hard. It was hard to sleep this time.
Dude, like, it just was great. I mean, I saw, you know, all of our friends were there. Everyone was there. It was a great turnout. Everyone looked like they were just having a blast. And they played some crazy stuff. Like, dude, there was like a monster Creenie and a monster Fluffhead and like a monster. People were like, more than once, people were like, this might be the best X I've ever heard. This might be the best Y I've ever heard. Now, look, that's hard to say, but it's interesting. And they're from people that, you know, people that have the perspective to like be able to call like a solid song, you know, and they played some stuff real well.
I think everything they played was played really well. Obviously, there was like flubs here and there that are noticeable, but like that doesn't matter to me. It's like the energy that they're able to pump into that room is, you know, next level.
I saw some cool video on. Oh yeah, go on.
What? It's called
some cool video on film, Fish on Film, where like the stage was just like rocking so much. Like the floor moves and everything, and he just had this like cool, like the stuff was swaying so much. It was
during Cross-Eyed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that second set on the Friday night was
before
Apex Fish. Right? Like Mike's, you know, which they haven't jammed out in who knows how long, ever, in many people's lifetimes. No, I mean, they just don't do that second jam out of Mike's anymore, and you kind of got the feeling that when they opened the second set with that, I was standing next to my buddy Jared, who actually works with Mike, and I was like, when they didn't end it, right, when they normally end it, they kept going, I was like, are they doing the second jam? He's like, sounds like it. It's gonna happen. I mean, it looks like it's happening. Why are you asking me? It's happening. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah. And then they just took it. They ran with it. And they
23 minutes.
Yeah. It was that second set on Friday night was a special event for sure. I think that you know, it took me back to
Apex Fish. That okay. Yeah, I mean, I was so this one in particular, because I knew you guys were there, I was paying a little closer attention to like song by song. And yeah, the mics goes on forever. That's like interesting from a distance, right? I wasn't couch touring, but I was like, okay, nice mics. Sand, love a Sand. Cross-Eyed, okay, right? Life Beyond a Dream,
yeah.
All right, like, you know, cool.
Sure, it was something was gonna happen. Right, we knew they were going to take a little.
Got to let some air out of the room, dude. I mean, that those were 3 like hitters in a row, right? So let some air out, let everyone just like recuperate, get some oxygen back in their brain,
get up there, take a pee.
And then like Lizards, it's like, okay, we're back, Lizards. And then While My Guitar Jelly Weeps was like fire.
So good.
I know. And then the encore is just like a week. I mean, that was sick. That's
So
second.
good.
It was the best. I was very jealous and very happy for you guys.
Yeah.
I could feel it, you know?
Yeah. It was, I mean, the whole room was pumped. That Antelope that closed the first set,
Right.
people were just like losing their shit. It was like madness in there. At one point, like a few minutes into the song, there was just like a red light, like Corona turned on the red lights, and that must have just like everybody seeing red and just like losing their minds. It was weird. Like, I don't know, because it was just like so much, like everybody was just so excited. I don't know. Like,
I mean, yeah, what a way to send it into the set break, right? Like, you just know they're coming back. You already knew that the second set was going to be sick.
and like Antelope is back. Don't you remember we were talking about how like they played Antelope like once last year?
Antelope's back. It's a summer Antelope. We called it.
They played it like 3 or 4 times this summer.
We called
It
it,
was
dude.
amazing. Instead of like getting that, Drift While You're Sleeping set closer like 7 times, they mixed an Antelope in there a couple times, which is fucking great,
Yeah.
And I get why they want to play some of the new songs and slip them in there.
Yeah.
And luckily they had like how many shows, 18 or 19 or whatever, how many shows this summer that they can spread it all around.
Well, what I was actually going to I was actually thinking about this, and it feels like Trey's figured out the right the mix that's working bidirectionally for the whole catalog in a way that there was perhaps a period of time when Trey knows best, right? But like sometimes us as like fans, that love the whole catalog, we were like, like I'm not sure if I got everything I wanted, but like, cool. There was some really awesome stuff. I really feel like he's got a balance right now. Like this summer tour in general balanced out for me anyway. Like the reciprocal, like, okay, there's some new stuff. Okay, here's some stuff I want to hear. And the new stuff's the new stuff's all great and it's in a good place. And the stuff I want to hear is amazing. I don't know. I felt like this summer tour, there was a really good balance.
No, I agree. I think that they had enough time for them to throw out, a new song every show, a different one, or a repeat of a few, like they played The Well a couple times. They only played like Pillow Jet and Ether Edge and Mercy and or any others that surfaced this summer like once, and I'm sure they're not going away. I just, felt like they were playing, at least at Madison Square Garden and for the tail end of the tour, like one new song a night. And
particularly Madison Square Garden. I agree with you. Yeah, I'm going back like Wednesday. Possum, Gaiute, Axilla Part 2, Energy, okay, Meat Stick, It's Ice, Blaze On, like, like that is a nice mixture of everything, of the catalog, right? Like a nicely shuffled catalog. Then Cavern, that epic Carini, Piper, The Well, Howling, Taste, About to Run, Chalk Dust. I mean, again, like a pretty, like, and then obviously Frankenstein and Slave, like, that's nicely shuffled. Like, that's a deck that feels correctly shuffled to me in a way that at times, I had to defer to Trey Knows Best on the shuffling of the deck, right?
Yeah. But because, like, look what they did the night before. The night before, Tuesday,
goes my opinion, bitch. Timber.
The night before, Tuesday, I think was the best show at MSG. Like
Sample, Kill Devil, Golden Age, Sneak and Sally. Yeah,
that sample they took for a ride.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why they even bothered with Kill Devil Falls, because it seemed like they just went right back into the same jam that they were doing for Sample in a Jar.
Which is always a treat when they do that. When they know that like they were in a good place and they just bring her right back in.
Yeah. And then like, sure, shade because everybody's got to take a piss and get a beer.
Yeah.
It's a piss song, and then boom, Sneakin' Sally, Twist, Yem.
Yeah, like
And
that's
then
a happy
encore
section.
of-
And Sally, Twist, Yam, happy.
That is just
And
like
then the encore, Wilson, Sanity, Bowie, and then obviously a 0 to tell you that the show's over. You know?
all right, fine. I guess we got to end it.
Right.
Like way over
0.
Yeah. Nobody expected Bowie. Nobody even expected Character Zero.
Yeah,
I'm
you get a
just gonna,
Wilson and you're good. Like,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, just every night was just surprise.
I know. I'm just like
There you go.
properly shuffled deck. Like, good job, Trey. For me, this is a balance that like I'm into this balance because
Yeah.
I love it. It's just they were just having so much fun.
I wonder if like for these shows, these benefit shows at SPAC that they announced,
Yeah.
if the mix, like the blend, the balance that they found is gonna like be thrown right out the window.
They're just
And
gonna play
it's
like
gonna be,
country, like they're gonna play Vermont, like
It's
country.
gonna be like all like 80% new songs.
I could see that happening because it's like a benefit concert. So it's like
Exactly.
not like they could like they're not raging a Carini, right? They're like
Well,
I don't know either.
both ways. Like we can get a 60-minute runaway jam, man.
Okay, but MSG always there was some funny pictures actually on some funny memes of like when MSG was being built and it was just like framed up and people being like a picture of MSG after last night because MSG has this ability to contain the energy. Like it just like it's a pressure cooker, right? It just gets and gets and gets. And I think they play to that, obviously. Like, so these shows just hit and hit and hit because there was just fire in that place every night.
Yeah.
I think the pressures, I don't mean their pressure, I just mean the pressure cooker pressure is not, necessarily going to be there.
And they were just like pulling things out, that were like funny and
like play it slowly, like,
or like Cracklin' Rosie.
Yeah.
Like they haven't played that in who knows how many.
You were just talking about that a week ago. Like it was one of
your
memories with him with the cymbals.
Him with the cymbals, like running around the stage at the Spectrum in '99, just like bad.
Yeah.
And then they pulled it out again, or like Guy Forget. Like
I know.
I mean, it's just them like saying Guy Forget a few times. But at the same time, it's like them acknowledging that it's like some stupid thing that they do.
Yeah.
That like gets people fucking so hyped up. They were just hyping everybody up.
Yeah, they were working everybody up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, though, switching gears for a split second. Mike's been posting a lot of content about his basses.
Yeah.
About his Sarek.
Holding them both.
And his modulus.
At the same time.
Yeah, and like playing them both and going like bow, bow. Hear it?
Yeah.
And it's just
I don't.
I feel like really trying to figure out, obviously he is introducing the Sarek into it, right? And I've been into the Sarek, like it's sweet, it's round, he's got some nice, it's really like, it lets him noodle on it. But like it definitely misses the cut. It definitely misses, the deep, like chest shakingness of, and I think I just feel like the fact that he is put so many reels out about it over summer tour, like he's really still trying to like figure out, right? Like he's not 100% satisfied where it is for whatever reason. That's all I'm noticing. I'd like to acknowledge that.
On Saturday night, I was Mike's side stage, like literally very close to him. And I was locked in with him. Like, I find for me personally, if I'm just like loosely listening and dancing, I'm listening to Trey for the most part, because he's like the loudest kind of melodic carrier of the song, and Fishman. right? And Paige and Mike kind of like, when they're all playing together, they kind of like fill the gaps, right? But because of where I was spending a lot of time like trying to listen to Mike,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like trying to lock in on his sound. And I did notice it felt very light. Like it didn't, light.
Smooth.
It didn't, smooth.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, it was just, I know what you're saying. Like, it didn't feel the same.
Didn't punch you in the chest.
Yeah.
And again, I don't have, like, I know that this decision that he made didn't come lightly. I do know that, I know that he, spent.
I mean, he's also got the modulus. He's got the modulus sitting right there next to him.
Right.
Like, you can't see it from the front, but because I was on side stage, it's literally right there behind him. Like, just in case.
Just in case. I know. And just he's clearly, he's searching for something. And I think he was at, because he introduced the Sarek just prior to, Hollywood Bowl. And there's something there he was searching for, which is like cool. And I love it. Like, let's keep saying yes. And like, let's keep seeing where we get. But he's obviously not 100% where he wants to get. That's all I'm noticing. And I've also seen him fumble around with that like ridiculous little like nugget that he has to throw in there to get up high on that thing. Like I've seen him fumble with it a few times and they get like stuck, unaligned, and like that's annoying for him. It has to be. Like, he doesn't want to have to be. I mean, it was a solution. Like, look at my little thing that I can do it, and then he's just like, I don't want to do this
anymore. I know, and he's doing these videos, I feel, to just like give himself some sort of justification for like making this switch.
That's what I mean. The videos are more of expression of where he's at than like, they're not educational for us. They're like him working through things that he loves about the Sarek, right? That he loves, you can tell. And then just he gets on that like modulus and he's like, "Pow," like just like, yeah. It just hits you in the face and you're like, okay, I like that too, And I think we'll see him continue to work this out in some way, whether he changes the Sarek to be longer or adds different pickups or like changes the neck length. Like, I think he's not there yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. How about Trey's voice?
I continued enthusiasm for working on his voice. I think that is what everything we love about Fish. It's consistent with, him, everyone kind of on this path of improvement and change. But the weird thing for me is like, I grew up loving a band with like 4 guys with like bad voices, and like it was hilarious. And so I don't necessarily need it. And sometimes I notice like it sticks out in my mind. I'm like, oh, there's Trey like singing again, right? Whereas when he just sung in his bad voice back in the day, it was like, yeah, like this is the song, and then like we're gonna rip it.
It's like get now verse.
Right. If we just gotta get through this verse and we'll all sing it together because it's stupid anyway. And then we just get to go have fun again. And now it's like his voice, I like notice it. And I'm like, oh, Trey's singing. Okay. Like, interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that he's like putting in the effort.
Right.
He's working on that voice. He's like trying to get himself like to another level.
Yeah.
And he's like pushing the boundaries, and sometimes it backfires and sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes he's like setting himself up for a miss by like going
high.
Or like, and he's kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works out. Sometimes he's got like these like carries a note a little bit longer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A little more melodic in the, like he's trying to turn his voice into an instrument, which people do. Like a lot of sing. I mean, that is sort of the essence of singing. Look, Fish is always trying 100 things, and some things stick and some things don't. So I fully support him doing what he's doing. I don't think, like I'm all here for it. Like let's take risks and let's see where we get. But sometimes it sticks out for me. It's like, oh, there's Cherry's voice again. Like, there he is singing.
Like, throughout their entire history, they've always been trying new things. You know, yes, there was like that time in the early 90s when they only had like 40 songs and they played the same songs every night.
Yeah.
You know, but that was when they were like, you know, when they were getting their 10,000 hours in, right, of playing together to get to this professional level of being an incredible, you know, band that's in sync with each other. And now the fact that they're just not like going out on the road, playing the same set list every night, but they're like doing new things. Some people love it, some people don't. Like, some people's favorite song is like Drift While You're Sleeping, you know, and I don't mind it, you know, and I don't mind that they are, you know, changing their instruments and working on their voices and doing all these new things, because it's their intention is to improve and only get better. And even when something works or doesn't work, they're still satisfying everybody's itch by like hitting beasts every night. Like, that's what they did every night, had like some run of 45 minutes or independent runs of like 20, 30 minutes here and there, where they're just like, everybody in the room is smart.
Yeah.
You know, unless you took too much.
And then the red lights get a little scary. I couldn't agree more. You know, I've thought about, because, you know, we don't consider ourselves jaded vets, but we have some history and we can be a bit jaded. But like, I do not, unequivocally, I do not want them to come out and play Fall 97 every day. Like, you know, as much as you can lust after some of this old stuff that we, you know, that we can remember with such fondness, like, if they were still doing that, dude, we wouldn't be showing up. You know, like, honest, like, I don't know, right? Like, it would be stale. Like, that's not what I want. Like, I don't want what it was, even though I love what it was. I want what it is right now. I want whatever they're giving me right now is actually what I want. And like, that's based upon all this experimentation and the fact that they over deliver in incredible ways, and then experiment in these ways that sometimes land and sometimes don't. And they make some people happy and they make some people kind of wait for the next one. Totally. I love it. I love it all. They're doing what I want them to do. Like, yeah, which is keep moving forward, keep excelling, keep being the best band in the entire universe, and like, keep having fun. That's all I want.
Yeah. You know, like, there was a time in the 3.0 era where there was some level of like disappointment coming here and there. You know, not every night, but like, I was going to a lot of shows, and like, some nights would be like, you know, okay, cool. Like, I'm probably never going to listen to this one again, you know? But the 7 shows that I've seen this year, every single one of them is re-listenable. Like, 100%. You know? I would more than happy listen to any show from the Greek, any show from Hollywood Bowl, any show from MSG. And I, you know, as I said, streamed pretty much every single night this summer. And almost all those shows are re-listenable with good intention. Of course there's critical elements, but like, how could you be at one of these shows this summer and not be satisfied at the end of the night? And it's like a shift that's gone on, and I don't know what it is in terms of like the energy that they're bringing, where the appreciation that they're able to garner, it's just like, it's there.
Whatever's happening now is special, you know, and we've talked about 3.0. You actually, I mean, you put in serious work in 3.0, and I didn't, you know, and like, some of that was that I had other things, like, you know, like I had a family earlier and this and that, and I had other distractions. But I mean, you can still make it work. It's just that I wasn't getting, like, I remember I'd go up to Shoreline and I'd do this, and I'd do that, and I'd do like a local circuit.
Yeah.
And there was some great shows. There really was, but nothing. Rarely was it like the calculus on I'm going to go to Miami, I'm going to go to New York, I'm going to go somewhere. The calculus on that just didn't work out for me. I was like, I got other stuff going on, and like I'll go up to Shoreline and I'll go, like, I don't know. It just wasn't calling me. And this 4.0, and I don't even want to, there was great stuff at the end of 3.0 too, but like this 4.0 situation is just like, I have FOMO. Like, I'm like, God damn, like I wish that I could do it all. I would love to be at MSG. I mean, you and I were texting, and I was like looking at flights, and they were insane. It was going to take me like 2 days to get to New York, And I was like, do you think I can make it from Long Island to MSG and like, in time with this 2-day crazy flight? I mean, it didn't make sense, but like, that's how bad my FOMO was, that I was actually looking at like, can I show up for something?
Oh, I feel you. I'm glad I pulled the trigger and made it happen, because it was definitely worth it. It was a really good time. There was no complaints. There was everything was expected and more. Everything and more. I expect those sleeper piss songs once a set. They're going to happen. And I appreciate them.
I appreciate it.
I don't want to have to go to the bathroom during a 40-minute tweezer. I want to be able to hold it and know that like Beyond a Dream is coming.
Yeah, something's coming. You're good.
Or like Back in the Bubble. Whatever that song was. It's like perfect.
Dude, how great was that Twee prize from Saturday? Like, just in terms of how much fun they were having. Like, Trey bounced around the entire stage. He was like levitating. He spent more time in the air than he did on the ground. It seemed like.
Yeah. He's flying around. He was just like so stoked.
Stoked.
Yeah. I think he like was just like, as he should be, very proud of what they were doing.
I know.
Because there were multiple points in the 2 nights I was there where it's like, for no reason at all, pure powder keg shit. The place just went wild, like in the middle of a song.
Yeah,
it was just like this. It was just like this rolling, just like let loose for no particular reason.
You only get that at a Fish show. Like, I've only ever experienced that at a Fish show.
Yeah.
I've never gotten that like ecstatic human. I don't know I don't want to use the word spiritual, but like that like out of like just that raw human experience I've never had anywhere else except a Fish show.
Yeah, I agree. And it worked. I'm happy.
There was no gaggle Saturday.
No.
There was all that talk about seats getting moved around and this and that, or
didn't need it.
Nothing.
No
gag. No theme.
No theme.
First 3 days, everyone's searching for themes that were getting weirder and weirder.
It's not necessary, I guess.
No. But like,
it's just like there's like expectations that like Fish, when they're doing something odd, 7 nights in one venue and 9 nights is like something odd.
Yes.
Something extra. So
I love that they
made. Yeah.
They made it even better. They were just like, no, we're just going to be awesome. Like, that's all.
That's all they needed to do. They didn't need to spend any extra money.
Any rumors from the lot on what we're getting this fall? Anything?
Well, I mean, there's just that they've already announced the fall tour. There has been rumors about, an early December run, but nothing to write home about.
It's too bad.
Like a turkey run.
Turkey trot.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
At the Northeast again.
I'm just waiting for India, that's all, I guess.
And like supposedly the Sphere is pushed back until next year. There's nothing happening this year. It's okay.
That's
It's
fine.
just time to plan our trip to Las Vegas. So much easier to get there.
Dude, it's the easiest place in the universe to get to from here.
Yeah. Like, other than the Hollywood Bowl.
You know what? You can almost make it to Vegas faster than you can make it to the Hollywood Bowl.
Not me.
For me, I feel like I could make it to the airport, take that 30-minute airplane trip, and land in Vegas faster than I could get to the Hollywood Bowl.
Anything's possible.
I am jealous. It looked like an incredible run. I just like, oof. But there'll be more.
It was a good run.
They're the best. They're the best.
Yeah.
And they know that they're their best right now. I think that they are so happy. Imagine, they've stuck it out through some times when I'm sure they've had some conversations in the back, or on the phone about like tours and stuff. And like, maybe they weren't happy with what was happening, or maybe they were, or fulfilled, like, are you deeply fulfilled by what we're doing or not? I think that there was times, clearly, where there might have been, not that pure fulfillment. And I'm just like projecting, but I feel like that having stuck through it and like finding themselves here, just like firing on all cylinders, smiling and having a great time has to be very fulfilling.
For sure. And I think they're all having a good time. Seems like. Hope so. Like that, what he did say on Saturday, how like he loves, like they love the audience
more than
we love them. And like,
yeah,
my perspective on Saturday, like being side stage, I could like see all the fans that they could see, like their faces. Scary.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's those pictures of the rail in the first few rows, and like, it is weird.
People are just like worshiping out there. It's great. It's good. I appreciate them doing it. Like,
yeah,
just some people down there just like gyrating.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, everybody sounds like a good time. I'm sure it gives them so much joy. But I'm feeling that's why like Trey is like looking up a lot, because like he doesn't want to be distracted by like all the
glittered
rail is or like
rail.
All they want is like eye contact.
They just want that moment.
And it's like all bouncing, trying to get that look,
waving their hands in the air. Like, I know it's a lot. That's why
it's great.
People he's talked about it. He's like, I'll like lock in on someone like in a doorway, on the other side of the venue, like where like the lights behind them. And he's like, and I will like watch the dance. Yeah, the silhouette. Yeah. I will like, I've played to that guy before or that girl, like they don't know it, but I've been like looking at them going, you and me, we're playing right now.
Yeah.
And like, wizards are at the front being like, I smell like strawberry.